Hi Capricorns, welcome to your July 2019 monthly readings. I apologize for not getting yours out last month. I'm trying a different method. A viewer suggested, um, or they more so left a comment that they would like to see other readings, so I'm going to try. All right, so I'm using angel cards. You can just substitute those. Because they'll say words that have to do with angels. So if you don't believe in that, just substitute it for life, universe, spirit, whatever it is that you believe in. No judgments here, all right? Everybody's welcomed. So, and then I'm going to pull 3 tarot cards, okay? And then there's an animal card at the end. I always like to switch up like my last deck. So the first card you got is the 6 of Emotion. And the rabbit's in there. So health is very important. You can look up the spiritual meaning of a rabbit yourself. You'll find the information that you need. But a rabbit's important, okay? 6 of Emotions, that's like the 6 of Cups. Nostalgia. That's also like little gifts being given too is what I get from that. Like I'm not talking about big gifts or anything like that. Like nostalgic gifts. It's like your son or daughter coming home and giving you flowers, or doing the dishes for you, or taking you out for dinner, or um, your spouse doing something nice for you. It's just small little subtle things, okay? And with the card coming up, it's saying appreciate those little things. It's the little things in life that matter. All right. I don't know why, but oddly, and I don't even know the show, you guys. But it's called something Up Schitt's Creek. Um, And from my understanding, that show is about a family that used to be super rich. They were like really wealthy, and the father ends up buying like this little town for his son as a joke because what its name is, Schitt's Creek, right? Then they end up losing all of their money, and they end up going to the little. All that's left is the little town that he bought, and they have to live there, and it's really hard for them to do because they're a family that has everything, right, or had everything, but then they're left with nothing. But the moral of the story in there is that uh, it's about love, right? Um, they were faced with adversity, but they were brought together under what seemed like horrible circumstances to learn the life lesson of love. It comes down to love, right? So they had to learn to appreciate the smaller things, and that they were better off without the bigger things. I don't know why that came through, but it's what came through, okay? So it says 6 of Emotions. I'll show it to you again. I always show the card in case you get an intuitive hit on it. It says memories can fill your heart with many emotions. It's important to remember your past accurately without seeing it as better or worse than it was. People you used to know may return to your life unexpectedly. Pardon me. Children could be an important issue, or you may need to reconnect with your own inner child. So for some of you, it's like you need to go out, you have a little more fun. Okay, let your inner child shine through. For others of you, it's talking about there's an importance of you with your children. It could be like little gifts, right? If you are a child, well, then, this is like saying if your parents are older, stuff like that, grandparents or aunts and uncles, somebody, it would be like going to help them mow the lawn, or gardening. Maybe you had a mother or an aunt that really loved gardening, but they're older now, so their garden's all like overtaken, and you're concerned about their health. A small gift that you can do for them, just to nudge them a little bit forward, is to go there and clean out the garden for them, and help them plant things, and that will give them a little nudge. They'll be out there every day in the fresh air taking care of their garden. Um, it's talking about, okay, uh, not seeing your past better or worse than what it actually was. So like not stamping your past as being horrible or good, not reflect on, maybe it's like Schitt's Creek, I gotta watch that show. I've never seen it, you guys. Okay, where I think I've watched a few episodes of it, but I like don't know the whole show. It's a comedy show though. Canadian actors in it though. um, I feel like there's bonding with your children or concern for children, their health or your health. The rabbit is on the female though. So it's like if you're a male, if you're a female watching, then well, the masculine figure in your life is concerned about the female. Okay, if you're a masculine watching, then you're somehow concerned about the health of a female. Uh, so kind gestures that you can do is make the things that they like. So if it's food you're concerned about, maybe you cooking dinner would be a good idea. Or changing the foods you eat is important. Okay, your health is important, and there's something to do about food here because you can see the rabbit is getting healthy food, green leaves. Okay. The next card you got is Messenger of Thought. Okay. It says a new topic or intellectual project is really exciting for you. There's so much to learn before you feel ready to move forward. New information may require changes to your plans. Review all documents carefully. You now will meet or are someone who loves to learn and share knowledge. This person is brilliant, truthful, but also blunt and not very diplomatic. Okay. So it could be saying try to be a little more open, like with the not very diplomatic. So don't be so stuck in your way, like be open to change, be open to kindness and gifts coming your way. With this card, I always get it reminds me of the Japanese, like the old school Japanese, where there's very much tradition in this card because and hard work and dedication because of they wear that white makeup, they have to wear their outfit in a specific way. It takes time to do that all up, right? Where it's orderly. So it may be saying be open to a little more spontaneity. I can't even say that, guy. Be open to more things, like to trying new things. Okay. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Okay. Working on your partnerships are important. That's with everybody, you guys. Partnerships is not just people, like your intimate relations with your spouse. It's with your children. Okay. Bonding with them, trying new things. So if you have a new interest, it's talking about going to do that. You can get your family to tag along, or your loved ones to tag along, those that you're in partnership with. So your friends, your family. Okay. And then it says the next one you got is new beginning. So it's like the Fool card, you guys. All right. He's trying to catch a butterfly, and the angel's behind him, like guiding him. Okay. So the Fool card, you always see him trying to jump up. Like people automatically assume, okay, and in reality, we shouldn't assume, okay, because when you assume, that answers in the question. Usually, you're gonna make like the word assume. It's make an ass out of you and me. So try not to assume things. But most people assume with the Fool card that he's going to jump off a cliff, right? And that's pretty foolish. But why do we assume that? Because we can't see the rest of the picture, the rest of the image. So we automatically go to the negative, like, oh, he's going to fall. Why? Maybe there's another cliff right underneath it, and then when he goes down, maybe it's a pathway that's going down there. We don't know. But because we're so what's the word? What's coming with this card? Because the order in the proper, we're so conditioned. There we go. We're so conditioned to assume the worst that we're not willing to be open to the opportunities of the positive. The what if things go right. Okay, it's not always about what if it's going to go wrong. Okay, there's an angel in the back of this card to help him. He's not going to go anywhere. And again, we can't assume that there's nothing underneath there, right? Could be a pathway underneath there. We don't know, right? But let's try not to assume the negative, the worst. Okay. It says a new beginning. You're at the beginning of a wonderful journey. There's no need to have any fear, as guardian angels, substitute that with whatever you believe, walk beside you every step of the way. You have unique gifts to offer the world if you will just free yourself from that which holds you back. New opportunities will present themselves if you truly believe. Okay. So if you assume, and that's out of fear, that you're going to fall off that cliff because it's the Fool card, and you're like, well, what an idiot, he's going off the cliff. Okay, don't assume because you can't see the rest of the picture, right? We don't know. Could be, it could be. There could be. You ever seen those movies when something's chasing it and it like an animal's chasing the human or something, like in Jurassic Park or something, and they see the cliff, right? So they're like, okay, I'm gonna run to that cliff, right? Trick the animal behind me to jump off of it, but there's a thing underneath it. They know that, right? So they just kind of hide underneath there, right? Like there's safety. I don't know why I'm saying all of that, but it's what's coming through. Okay, and you had two extra ones. It says the Ace of Emotion. It says, I'll show you the image. Okay, it's very romantic. It's like Cupid. Ace is cups, right? So it's like the Ace of Cups. So it's like it's that mushy gushy, lovey-dovey feeling, right? Like, and that could be with your kids, where they do something super sweet for you, your spouse, like say thank you. The thing is, you need to reward the people in your life. When they do something positive for you, you have to tell them, okay, well, thank you very much. But you don't just say thank you. You give them the reason, oh, that really helped me out. I had an exhausting day, a long week. I've done overtime. So you doing the dishes for me, sweetheart, whether that's your spouse or your children, that really helped me out. You have to give them positive affirmation afterwards. Okay, like the thing with arguing is you're getting mad at a person and you're giving them negative reinforcement, right? So if you want somebody to continue to do something good, well, you have to give them positive reinforcement by letting them know, and they will know to do more gestures like that, right? It says the cherub is announcing that a wonderful new emotional experience is coming into your life. You may meet someone new who makes your heart flutter, or your current relationship will experience a reawakening. It's also possible that your intuitive abilities will be greatly increased by your open heart. So be open, okay? And there are arrows here, so arrows are like travel, right? You got a destination you want to go to, so if you want to fix your current relationship, that's possible, reenact your first date, or make that dinner that your spouse loved, like try to get back to the basics. Like when you first started dating, what is it that you guys used to do? You used to explore, so now it's time to do that, right? Like if you have kids, you have people that can um, look after them while you go on vacation, or your dogs or whatever, like you have people that can come and water your plants or whatever, right? It's saying that you will have personal time with your spouse to reconnect. And you had in one of the cards, like, let go, open your heart, right? So it was the Six of Emotion, I think it was. It's important to remember your past accurately without seeing it as better or worse. So that means anything that's happened in the past, just lessons, all right? So you're starting new. It's an ace, right? So reconnect with your loved ones. And then you have the Seven of Emotions. I don't know why, but the girl in here reminds me of Anne of Green Gable, I think it was. Her stories. So if you have a daughter, maybe those books are really helpful for her. You could get her into those books. You can give her a gift. Or, I feel like if you're a father, okay, it could be harder for you as your little one is growing up. There is a book, and my aunt gave me actually when I was younger, that kind of helped me out a bit. What was it called? Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And it talked about puberty and things like that in there, right? So if you're religious, then that would be a good book to give your daughter, right? Or maybe buy and then ask your wife to give it to her if you're uncomfortable. Or I was quite young when I got that book from my aunt. It says your angels are asking you to make an important decision that you've been putting off. It's likely you know which choice you should make, but you're procrastinating so you don't upset someone else. Ask heaven for guidance and then make the choice that celebrates who you truly are. So you're avoiding something. It could be health. So you need to be more active. You need to be more concerned about your health. But this is saying include the people that you love. Okay, so if you're going to make that change, then it's going to have an imprint on the people around you. That is the word I was looking for in Leo's video. The word duckling came up, and I was trying to figure out like an imprint. It was imprint, the word where. It's also like activities that you like to do that you no longer do. You should get back involved in those things. So playing sports, date night, right? This is like if you're allowing your kids to eat in front of the television, like you're all doing it separately and you're not having dinner at the table, it would be talking about having dinner as a family at the table. Making that time and effort, right? Having a friendly game of basketball, baseball, soccer outside, picnics, those type of things. Whatever decision that you're avoiding, you're gonna have to face it. Okay, and you have 4 cards. You have the World. That's a great card, you guys. You have the 9 of Swords, which is sorrow. It says. Okay, with that card, I'm getting a refusal, a denial, and you got to get over that. So whatever, you can always point the finger at the other person and say, "Oh, it's this person's problem," but we're all involved in it, right? So you have to make changes in order for them to make changes. Okay, positive reinforcement is coming through though. So if you don't like something, instead of get angry, do you just explain why you don't like it and how it's harming you? Right? There's a lot of thoughts in your head, a lot of worry, a lot of concern, and I'm gonna say fear. Okay, fear is what's blocking you. So some of you could be like, if you have a new partner, you're fearful of the old repeating itself. Or if it's with your relationship partner, you're fearful that certain issues are going to pop back up from the past. Okay, well, you've learned from the past now. So how do you avoid that? You don't make the same decisions as you did in the past. You start new. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Okay? You have the 7 of Pentacles. It says patience on it. It takes time. Okay, like not everything's going to happen overnight. You got a lot of hands here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6 hands here. It's like little hands and then big hands. So with the hands, it's like you're giving, and then there's other hands where it's like you're receiving, and then there's a set of hands where it's like it kind of comes across as a male gently grabbing the female's hand, and then there's 2 hands that are coming together. So I don't know, dance classes could be cool for you guys with your partner. If you're a male, your wife, every woman likes to go out and dance. Take her out dancing. Don't be afraid of how it makes you look. How does it make you feel? You having fun? That's all that matters, right? Patience is required, you guys. You got to get over these illusions and fears that you're placing in your mind. You have the Queen of Wands. That's your extra card. So the Queen of Wands could be a Leo, a Sag, or an Aries. Doesn't have to be. They could have a lot of planets that sit in a house, or they could have like a Mars, Venus, or something in fire. Okay. But basically, with the Queen of Wands, that's like it's a very authoritative figure. Okay, it's a very no nonsense figure too. The Swords characters come across like that, but the Wands character does too. Okay, the Wand females can come across as aggressive. It's not really that they're aggressive; they're assertive. Okay, they don't take shit. They're doers. Okay, these are the type of people that know that things aren't going to get done unless I do it. All right, action has to. They don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. Okay, and they're not concerned about the talk, they're concerned about the walk. What are you doing? You're saying this, you're saying that, but what are you doing? Now it's the actions that you need to be concerned about here. So what are you doing to make the changes necessary? Okay. It's a doer. They got places to go, people to see, and things to do. They know things just don't get done. They have to do it, right? They know money doesn't grow on trees, so they have to go and get it, right? She is the entrepreneur. Uh, you know, she brings bacon home, all right? So these could be aspects that you need to take on, okay? It's a woman who doesn't take no for an answer, but she's a trailblazer, right? Because of that. When people tell her no, if she's an entrepreneur, she's going to just keep going. Right? Things need to be done though in order for that to happen. So action has to be taken is what's coming through strongly in your reading. Okay. So with your relationship, you have to take action. She's fun too, right? Uh, so the queens are the ones that will invite you out for dinner or take you out dancing, have brandy, go to a jazz club, something like that. Okay, where the Queen of Pentacles, she's more so the woman that will invite you to her house. She will make dinner for you. She's got lots of flowers, maybe even gardens. Okay, she's the gotta go places lady. All right, but having fun is key here, going out, getting dressed up, that type of thing. So I feel like if you've been in a relationship for a while, getting back uh, those date nights. Again, it's coming back to in the beginning. What did you guys do in the beginning? Make time for that. She also exercises a lot. I don't know why. You guys got pent up energy, I'm feeling. So outdoors is very important for you guys in nature to clear the mindset. Okay, with the world card, the world is associated with Jupiter, yes, but its association is with all the fixed signs. So that's Leo energy, that's Aquarius energy, that's Scorpio energy, and Taurus energy. Okay, those are all fixed lessons that have to happen in order for your abundance to come. So have you learned your lessons? Right, wheels always spinning. Right, what comes up must go down. All right. There's no happy without sad, no sad without happy, no good without bad, no bad without good, right? Like, but the world, with these arrows, you could be traveling or planning a trip could do you wonders. So be open to opportunities. It could be like somebody invites you out to go do something and you're against doing it. Or they want to travel somewhere and you don't want to, just be open to it. Try it. What's the worst that can happen? You don't like it, you don't like it, right? Like, I remember you guys one time, my dad's a Capricorn. I said to my dad once, I was like, Dad, I'd really like to go camping. Do you want to go on a family camping trip, right? Like, I want to do it. I've never camped before, okay? Like, one time my parents let me do it in the backyard, but I didn't even make it a night. My brother lived in there for the whole summer. Uh, and my dad turns to me and says, so you want to go outside and live like a homeless person? And I sat there and I thought, oh man, he's right, you know? Like, but then I said to my dad, I was like, Dad, it's an experience, right? It's like bringing us back to nature, right? We don't have any electronics or anything, so it's like good old fashioned family fun, right? And my dad just started laughing. He's like, "You want me to go outside and live like a homeless person, right?" But 2 months later, my dad had brought up to me, um, he subtly, because he's a Capricorn, right? Subtly, uh, I can't exactly say how he worded it, but like the way he said it was, and he didn't even say "let's go camping," but he kind of subtly was open to it because he could see that I was disappointed that he didn't want to go, and he kind of knew as I guess as a parent, he kind of felt like, oh, my baby wants to go do this, so she's not gonna do it unless I go with her, right? Because he knows I don't like bugs, right? So, like, he's open to it slightly. I should ask him about that again, you guys, because it is summertime. Okay, so you got your animal card is the raccoon. Okay. It says having your friends back, stealth, brass, resourcefulness, adaptability, dexterity, and survival. Let's see what it says in the card. Um, that tent we built as a kid too. Our parents let us build it in the backyard and then made us tear it down afterwards. After we built it, it took us all day. And we had to build it on the other side of the backyard because my parents were like, oh, it's too far in the backyard. They were concerned that somebody could jump over the fence. So we built it right by the sliding door. And my brother literally lived in there the whole summer. I was in there, I think, like 3 hours. And I was going to go to sleep. And some earwigs popped up. And I was like, not happening. Went inside. Uh, all right. So the raccoon says the raccoon is not afraid to get dirty. Out on a nighttime adventure. See, there is something here about like date nights or something, you know? Or if you're single, just going out with your guys and your girlfriends, right? Paintball night for the guys, or maybe to a club or something. You're Capricorns though, you're quite classy. So I'm gonna say a jazz club, you know, something, you know, the arts, something, you know, or it says the raccoon and his friends are thick as thieves. The raccoon never backs down when one of the pack is in trouble and never leaves his friends in a blind in a bind. Sorry. The raccoon quotes Mark Twain when he says, "I like people more than I like principles, and I like people without principles more than anything else." He reminds us that if you want to be true to your buds, you'll take the bad with the good and won't be too critical. When you see the good in people, you will find you'll never be alone when you don't want to be. The most, um, the raccoon is not picky. He appreciates what he can get and can survive on anything. So take things as they come, man. That's what it's saying. Be open to new opportunities. Your buddy's got your back. All right. So maybe, you know, um, coffee time with your friends, or because I can see that as, you know, Capricorn, an earthly trait. Like just like the females, they invite you over for dinner. The um, Queen of Pentacles, she's one that invites you over. So, like for the males, they would have coffee time with their buddies, or watch a sports game with their buddies. It is saying night out on the town though, and you do have the Queen of Wands. Okay, she's very passionate. She's very driven, very action oriented. All right. So that if this is your partner, and she's getting a little, what's the word? She could be cooped up. She needs action. She needs to be going out. She does need the wine and dine a little bit. All right. And if you're a Capricorn, or if you're the female Capricorn, it's saying take action on the things that you want. All right. My nose is really itchy. I don't know why. But take action on the things that you want. Go after it. All right. When you're told no, keep going for your yes. All right. And then your card, it says, I am heart. So it's an affirmation card. You might want to reflect on that. You do have opening your heart in your reading. So getting grounded, it's earthly. So, you know, I'm going to try to get my dad to go camping, you guys. Oh, it's going to be hilarious. You know what? And my argument's going to be he's always watching these, what do you call that show? Some Alaska show, right? Surviving Alaska or something like that. They're out in the wilderness. And he's always sitting there going, oh, man, I'd love to live off the grid and blah, 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 right? My mom's an Aries. She's the fire sign, right? And one day I said to my dad, you know, Dad, if it ever happened where, you know, there was a blackout or a solar flare or something, right? Or uh, I'm pretty sure my mom, who's an Aries, would be the one getting dinner. I can't see my dad doing it, you guys, right? My mom, I could see her. She's Portuguese. She grew up on a farm. They had to kill what they were eating, right? My mom would be the survival one. My dad likes to think so, but I'm gonna use that Alaska show to get him to go camping. I'm like, you're always watching that. Can you live off the grid? Let's go test it. It's awesome. All right, you guys. Hopefully, you have a fabulous month. It's a pretty positive reading. Get out of your head. Okay, reason with yourselves. Are these fears actually true? They're illusions, right? You realize that once you face your fear. Okay, so if you have a fear of having that uncomfortable conversation, well, things aren't going to get better if you're using avoidance. Okay, you might have to have that uncomfortable conversation. It is Mercury retrograde, so things that are avoided will come back to the surface. It's not negative though. Okay, it's there for growth and to get the wheel moving. All right. All right, you guys. Namaste. Hopefully this helped you out, and I will talk to you next month. Ciao for now.